You must think first, right? Before you move.
Welcome, everybody. This week we have combat analysis 3v3. Pretty simple. We pick 3 characters based on a category. The category this week is non-human heroes / villains.
Aliens.
Aliens, there you go. Better way to say it. We'll pick 3 characters. We have criteria where we'll just go through and sort of name their highlights with long range, short range, stamina, strategy, and then group dynamic. It's pretty simple. Jacob, why don't you tell me your 3 people first? People is not correct. 3 things first. No,
they're people.
Rude. That feels rude. Yeah.
No, they're people. They're just not human.
There's not human people. Yeah.
Persons.
Okay.
So my team is, again, we did aliens, right? So and Raymond, we had to say, we were specific to say non-Kryptonians as well. We didn't want to include
non-Kryptonians. Yeah.
Superman, Supergirl, etc.
And to be fair with you, I almost did Omni-Man, but I felt like that was cheating too.
Okay.
Yeah. From Invincible.
So my 3 people, Carnage, and particularly when Cletus Cassidy is the host.
Yep.
The next one is Yeyinde, a.k.a. Descende, a.k.a. Broken Tusk. He's one of the ancient kind of Predator clan leaders.
And Predator like Yautja?
Yes, Yautja.
Okay.
Yautja Predator.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Alien locks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
that's a good one.
And Zim from Invader Zim.
Nice.
That's my team.
Nice. Okay, my team is Lobo, Silver Surfer, and Starfire.
I'm cooked. Okay.
I felt like Silver Surfer was low-key cheating too. I was like, I loved it. I love Silver Surfer. Because the goofiness of when they were creating this character to make him silver and put him on a surfboard in space is insane. But it's pretty iconic. So you start. Who was your first person?
Carnage.
Okay. Carnage.
Yeah. So go through the category. Long range attack. Decent, but not his like strongest suit, because he can like create projectiles from his body, like darts or knives, and throw it at people, but they kind of disintegrate and fall apart relatively quickly. So it's for medium range, if you want to call it that, kind of attack. But he could also, he has stealth, and he can also like extend and grow his body, like his arm or whatever. So he can attack people from a distance, but it's not his strongest technique.
Yeah.
Short range, very strong. So obviously, Carnage, the symbiote, gives him superhuman abilities, including regeneration. But it's the host, Cletus Cassidy, who is a psychopathic serial killer.
Serial killer, yeah.
He's extremely violent, and he likes the direct, like, hands-on violence. So that means, Carnage is very, very proficient with hand-to-hand combat and attacking people.
Yep.
Stamina, very high. I mean, the symbiote has all sorts of abilities to keep the host alive on Earth, in space, underwater, etc. So it's more or less the symbiote's kind of limits if they want to take a break or something. I should say.
Yep.
Strategy, weak. So I mean, from the name Carnage, it's just chaos. Just make the world burn. I don't really have
That's
any
exactly
type of
what it is.
Mission or kind of like higher purpose.
Right.
I just want to kill and cause damage.
Yep.
So chaos. Group dynamic. So this one was a little bit of a double edge. So I said not good, because again, Cletus, he's a deranged serial killer. He's antisocial by true sense of the word, not shy.
Right.
But it's a flip of a coin if he'll get along, because since the symbiote's powers are to kind of bond with the host, take on some of the personality and attributes. But one of the powers, and I didn't know this until I did the research, Carnage can create these little tendrils, like little babies, symbiote seeds, if you will, and put them on people.
Make more of himself.
Do a little bit of mind control. So they don't they don't like get the symbiote suit or whatever, but I don't know if their eyes go black or whatever it is.
Okay.
But
I did not know that.
He could create essentially or theoretically like a little army of semi-brainwashed people. So he can like have his own team, so to speak.
Yep. Very cool.
But to do this to his teammates, Yeyinde and Zim, probably not.
Right.
I don't even think it may work because they're different alien physiologies. So yeah, he's the wild card for sure.
Yep. Yep. Okay. My first guy is Lobo. Long range weapons. We got laser cannons, kryptonite ray guns. I had to throw that one on there just cause. And then negative ion grenades. I will put pictures of these things if I can find them. We got a short range weapon, pretty simple, iconic chain hook, meant to bring people in closer, kind of keep people away because it can be used as a blunt instrument. So pretty simple there. Stamina, very
one thing,
yeah.
Raymond, with the long range, his motorcycle too, or whatever he calls it.
Oh, you would consider that long range? I just considered that kind of a miscellaneous thing because it's not a weapon in and of itself, but I guess he can travel with it and it's cosmic.
But he controls, like he does the whistle, and I guess
that's
different
true.
whistles.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he can control it. That's a good point. Stamina is very high stamina, can fight for days. I can't quite recall what medium it was in, but it's been shown for him to like lose limbs, lose his body, and just be ahead and then grow it back. So, I mean, he's virtually unkillable, right? I mean, obviously we're dealing with aliens and cosmic level beings. So, it can happen, but it's very, very tough. Strategy, contrary to what most people believe, because most of the time Lobo's kind of, being a bro, I guess, for lack of a better word. He's actually a genius level intellect and a tactical genius, which again, I didn't even really think about until I did research for this. So he's pretty, on point on that one.
He can track people across universes.
Exactly. Set traps and do all this stuff. However, major downside to Lobo is he is not a group or team player whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. He will almost assuredly stab you in the back. And like the second it gets like to where it's his advantage. So terrible group dynamic. Him being on the team alone might ruin the team, to be honest with you.
Didn't he kill his own like species? Everyone but himself?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure. I think something like that. I don't know if he killed them specifically, but that sounds right. I
remember like, and only his species can kill each other. So he basically made sure that he was immortal. But yeah, he's not a team player. I agree.
Yes, Lobo killed his entire species, the Zarnians, making him the last Zarnian.
Yeah.
The method: Lobo created a violent plague bearing swarm of small scorpion-like creatures, sometimes referred to as a virus, that specifically targeted his race, bypassing their regenerative abilities. The reason: he did it as a high school science project. So yeah, he's a psychopath.
Not a team player.
Not a team player whatsoever.
Okay, my next one is multiple names: Yeyinde, Dashende, Broken Tusk.
Oh, I gotta look up who that is, actually.
Yeah. So he was first introduced, I think, in like 1990, Alien vs. Predator #1, and then again.
Right. You said he's yautja, right?
Yautja, Alien Predator Prey, which was a novel in '94. But long range attack, strong. He has the plasma caster and the burner. The laser 3-dot thing, so he can hit you from a distance. He's accurate with that as well. Short range, strong as well.
Very cool design.
So one of the reasons why he's kind of like a highlight is because he was the first and only yautja to fight a xenomorph and kill it barehanded. No weapons.
I see it on his chest. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yep. So
cool.
No other yautja's been able to do that. They can with weapons, but not
bare hands. Yep.
And then he has, the normal melee weapons like the wrist blades and the combi stick.
A spear right here. Yep.
Yeah. Stamina, so pretty high. He's over his, career, life, whatever. He's killed dozens and dozens of xenomorphs. In his later years, he was so proficient at it that he would sometimes even like handicap himself by only using certain weapons to make the hunt more fair.
Yeah.
And then stamina. He's fathered many dozen children with many female.
Well, oh man, there was an athlete. Who was it? Oh, it was Steve Smith Jr. They were like, one of the reporters was like, "Hey, you're getting kind of old. How do you feel about your stamina?" And he was like, "Go ask my wife about my stamina." And like that was his answer to the question.
I'll call it. He could plank for long periods of time. Let's say
okay, a lot of kids got stamina. I got you.
A lot of kids.
I got you.
Strategy. So he's very strong.
Yeah, we don't even have to fucking go into that one.
Clan leader.
Yeah.
But one thing that's notable So he was taken, I guess, what they call unblooded, like the younger yautja on their first hunt. There was this planet called Ryushi. So he was like the sole organizer of this thing. Like he was everything. And that takes a lot of strategy.
Yep.
So group dynamic in this group with me, likely he would be the leader because he's been the clan leader. He also, I don't know if you'll call it friends, but there was a human named Machiko Noguchi, a human, and he kind of interacted with her and he like respected her for her
this
hunting
yautja's
prowess.
a woman yautja.
No, a human.
You said her.
Yeah, so he became, I said friends, quote unquote, with a human, a female human.
Oh, I thought you said, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. There was a female human. He crossed paths with her, and
I got you.
they got along.
Yep.
So he's capable of, working with other species.
Yeah.
So team player, I think so.
Cool. That's a great one. I would have been fun to choose the Xenomorph in this situation. My second one is Silver Surfer. Little OP.
Little?
Long range, cosmic energy blast, energy manipulation and absorption, cosmic sphere.
So casually saying this.
Short range weapon, cosmic surfboard, energy blades, transmutation, and phasing. So God, basically. He's God. Stamina, virtually limitless stamina, mostly because he's powered by the power cosmic. I will put a picture of what that is right here. And strategy, this is crazy. He's got precognition, basically. Versatile utility, excels at using power cosmic for offense and defense. So his strategy is not only to attack, he also can, play defense, basically, which kind of leads into the group dynamic. I think he would be very good with my group dynamic because he's already a herald of Galactus, right? So I think that he is very used to not being top dog, is the way to say it, right? Where he can still be probably the most effective member on the team without trying to assert his dominance or whatever over the team. You know what I mean? Like he'd just do it. So I think he'd be very good for the group dynamic.
Okay. Yeah. Little OP.
Little OP. A little OP. We might have to come up with some different rules for this.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, my third and last team member, Zim, from Invader Zim. So there was the cartoon in the early 2000s, and then cut to 2015 to 2020, they made a comic book series. So it was a good, 13 or so years gap between the animated series and the cartoon. So long range attack, very high. Zim is from the planet Urk. He's an Urkin. So they have super advanced technology, space travel, stealth, whatever you can think of, they can come up with an invention to do it. So he has a lot of weapons, and he can directly invent these things and build these things himself. He doesn't need to rely on a team or something. There's no galactic Amazon he has to order from.
Yep.
Short range attack for him without weapons, 0. He is a marshmallow.
He's a little guy.
He's soft like
Pencil
diarrhea.
Arms.
Pencil arms.
Diarrhea.
He cannot fight.
Yeah, soft as Charmin.
Soft as wet Charmin.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that goes into stamina low for him. Now, the Urkins, their society the hierarchy is based on height.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So, the taller you are, the more highly regarded. Like, their leaders are called the almighty tallest.
I feel like that's just humans.
Yeah, thank you. It's something so stupid and superficial, but...
But wait, so I didn't know this. His species aren't all short.
No.
I didn't know that.
Okay. That gets into the next one with strategy. So
something I learned this week.
Because he's short, but he's still an Urkin, the leaders of the Mighty Tall, so they gave him a kind of a joke, semi-serious mission. Go to Earth, conquer it, enslave the people. And our real warriors, our real, army, the taller ones, they'll go to these other planets, these other parts of the universe to kind of conquer. But Zim isn't in on the joke, so he is super 100% for the Urkin Empire, and he is going to destroy Earth and slave the people. Each invader gets assigned a robot, and he was assigned a defective one.
Damn.
So
did he know that?
No.
Oh, damn.
He didn't know that he was being brushed under the rug, kind of a thing. So think of C-3PO or R2-D2 that fell down the stairs a couple of times.
Yeah.
But again, he from strategy uses technology. He has this technology that he can infiltrate society, so he looks more like a human boy than a alien.
Yeah.
And it fools a lot of people, other than a handful of characters being the main I think antagonist to him. So yeah, and then so he's very good with strategy, using technology to come up with experiments and plans and traps and all that stuff. Group dynamic, I would say not the best. He works well with other Urkins. He's very loyal
Yeah.
to his species, but he's a loner, and he's with he has a love-hate relationship with his robot Gur.
Sure.
And yeah, so he works well with Gur, and then indirectly with the base camp, but with everyone else, he'll be like, "I'm the invader. I'm going to
he would try to be
enslave you."
he would try to be the top dog for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's how I feel about Lobo. Lobo would just naturally want to be the
main
in any
man.
situation. Even if it was the first person to run off a cliff, he would be like,
Yeah.
I'm doing it first, main man.
Yeah.
I'm the main man.
Yep.
So my third person is Starfire, kind of
Another-
partially Queen of Tamaran.
Yeah.
Long range weapon, we got Starbolts, I-beams, which I didn't even really know about that one specifically until I did some research. Short range, we got the hair whip, Sindel style, if you know, you know. Star sword / sabers.
Sword.
Stamina, superhuman stamina and endurance, obviously. I also didn't know this one until I looked it up. Absorbs ultraviolet radiation and converts it to energy, so virtually limitless energy.
Hold up. So she's like Superman and getting the yellow sun?
I don't know if it's on the same level or scale, but she absorbs it, and converts it to energy. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Strategy. So here's, I think, the weak point of Starfire on my team. She is not known to be a strategist. She's never necessarily been the leader of a team. So I don't really think that she would be overly good at making a plan necessarily. She's very emotional, what she brings to the team, like her compassion, her ability to emotionally connect with people, right? Not so much strategy. That's what Robin's there for, right? On the Teen Titans. But I think that goes to the group dynamic. I think she would be very good in the group because, like I said, I think she has a role and she knows to play it really well. And I don't think she'd try to do too much or try to step on anybody's toes. I think she's very good at being on a team, playing her role and doing it well. So I think she would be the best in terms of team player on my team.
Well, I have a question. So she kind of likes Robin, right?
Yeah, see, they've done weird things where she was with Dick Grayson, but then there was Red Hood and the Outlaws. I loved that back in the day, where they tried to make her and Jason Todd get together, which I did not like because I think Starfire and Dick should be together. I don't think Starfire should be with Jason.
So here's my question. Let's just say she didn't have any romantic feelings towards Lobo or Silver Surfer. Do you think she would have the same kind of dynamic? Because when I think of Starfire, I think of the romance, right? And then she's kind of like a little pacified by that.
Yeah.
But if she's on a team and there was just like her sister, right? But they'd just be headbutting all day.
No, so the only situation I think where it wouldn't work, now that you're saying it, I'm thinking it, Lobo and her. Because Lobo's kind of gross, you know what I mean? And like canonically in the DC, you know, canon, Starfire is pretty attractive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Lobo would probably harass her until she had to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that specifically, because like the Robins, I think it was Dick Grayson, you know what I mean? So I don't think that would be a factor. I just think she would be more interested if it were Dick Grayson, you know what I mean?
Okay. Just fall in then. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So that's,
these are our teams. Please tell us who you think won, because I can tell you who I think won.
I'll tell you who won. Silver Surfer won.
Yeah, exactly.
By
We
himself.
might need to sit down and actually come up with some more rules for this one. I don't know. Put it in the comments who you think won. Give us some other suggestions for categories. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you got anything, Jacob?
No, this was fun.
Cool. All right. See you guys next week.
All right.